So when I go to shul, they often try to give me a tallis. It's a prayer shawl. But in traditional Judaism, men don't wear a tallis until they're married. Right? I'm a 56-year-old bachelor. So at many shuls they say, oh, I'll wear one anyway. Don't worry about it here. Like it's just part of being a man, yet you wear a prayer shawl, a tallis. Like in traditional Judaism, women don't wear a talisa, a prayer shawl. And you might say, oh, it makes me feel good. In Judaism, we're not about what makes us feel good. We're about doing what God wants. So anyway, I go to shul, and they offer me a tallis, but I let them know, hey, I'm single, I'm a bachelor. Like, I have rachmanis, right? I have compassion on the women, right? On the other side of the pizza, the divider during prayer services. In traditional Judaism, men pray in one area, women pray in another area. So I have compassion for the women, that they should not have to sit there trying to talk to God, and there's this ravishingly handsome man over here, a stranger, this tall, dark, handsome stranger. They should not be tormented trying to figure out if this guy's married or not. So if I just simply don't wear the tallis, then that is my mating call, right? Just like male birds who have lovely plumage, that they love to display their plumage, right, to attract a mate. Well, I display my plumage by going to shul and not wearing a tallis. And that shouts loud and clear, this man is single. Ladies, unbelievable. How is this man not married? How could that be? What a shanda. What a scandal. What a travesty. This man is not married. It was just simply skipping the tallis. Just like a woman who leaves her hair uncovered, right? A woman who leaves her hair uncovered, she's saying that she's single and available, ready to mingle. I love the Orthodox mating calls, literally. So I think one of the big changes in how I see the world as I've grown older is I increasingly understand that people almost never mean what they say. People almost never mean what they say. So when I was younger, I just take women and men literally. And part of me knew that they didn't necessarily mean what they were saying, but I was just lazy. But I think that's the main reason I didn't want to process their remarks on many levels. I just wanted to take them on the literal level because I was just lazy. I didn't want to do the work. So when I had the privilege of having a girlfriend, all right, and she understood everything I was saying, when I was literal, when I was sarcastic, when I was metaphorical, when I was oratorical, when I was rhetorical, she always knew. I never had to explain to her. She was so incredibly present, right? She wasn't distracted. She was right there with me. She knew exactly what I was saying. It was magnificent. So I hope you had the experience of someone like that in your life, where you never had to explain yourself, where they knew what you were saying. You didn't have to explain when you're being sarcastic. So, g'day sticks. We're coming at you live from Clovelly Beach here in Sydney's eastern suburbs. I'm very slowly making my way from Coogee to Bondi, maybe head up to Watson's Bay. And just thinking about my sheer laziness throughout my life and not wanting to understand. People almost never say what they mean. So the news media, for example, they're talking about 158 Republicans are running as election deniers. You've been in a girl named Sydney before. That's nice. Was it as spectacular as this, mate? So election denial, right? That's just a rhetorical stance that essentially you have to take as a MAGA Republican these days. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. You can't take people literally. And someone sent you some flowery thank you, right? She's your ex-stepsister. What a romantic story. Man, you're a lover. gratitude. Or they're grateful they might just be Christian. And that kind of rhetoric is expected in Christian circles. So your boss might tell you you've done a fine job with this task. Doesn't mean he's not going to fire you the next week. People almost never say what they mean. Right? I am going to limit the things I say to what is socially acceptable with my closest friends, with my more distant friends, with my Orthodox Jewish community, right? With people I work with, people I work for, important clients, right? Important sources of income, all right? To stay within YouTube's terms of service, to abide by society's ever-changing norms. I'm going to constantly be ducking and diving, adjusting my rhetoric, adjusting the things I say, using more or fewer euphemisms. Because who knows who might eventually see this video, right? I don't want to get on the bus with someone and go, oh, I saw your video and I really took offense and I want to punch you in the face. So I adjust what I say to limit the chances of getting punched in the face. You know what poggers is? No, mate, I don't think I know what poggers is. Are those birds? Are these poggers, mate? So, particularly with women, I just wanted to hang off for dear life and accept what they had to say literally. It's a funny face online. Ah, you got a funny face online, mate. You're a blogger. Good on you, mate. So, I just consistently displayed a lack of conscientiousness in my life. Oh, these birds aren't even afraid. And laziness, coming from laziness. Now, as we all grow up, we all tend to become more conscientious and more responsible. So I still have those same tendencies, but now I'm more well acquainted with the huge price to be paid for laziness in some circumstances. So I'll be more diligent because I've had my ass handed to me countless occasions due to my carelessness. Love from Canada. Surely love is all around us. So you suffer too from a lack of conscientiousness, a lack of rectitude, a lack of attention to detail. So I think as we get older, we get more careful about these things. And so now, if I can't bear down on something that's important, I will wait until I've had a nap, wait until I've eaten something, wait until I've had a soda pop, listen to some music, do something that puts me in a state where I can bear down and pay attention. Because I know the consequences are so dire from my own carelessness. And the news media, it's just so literal. And most people you meet, they act and they talk as though people mean what they say. Oh, John said this to me, or my pastor said this at the sermon, or my boss said this. And almost never do people say what they mean. Have I ever played Minecraft? Nope, I have never played Minecraft. I haven't played any video games in 40 years. Yeah. So I played Space Invaders like in 1984. And that's the last time I played any video games. No, I don't need any more time wasters. I need to spend my time turning out this high quality intellectual content such as this that will echo in eternity. Men, the words we say now will echo in eternity. So don't allow that responsibility to get you down. Don't want you to feel depressed by it. But people are going to be watching this video in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And they're going to be noting what we say. I think this video represents a great step forward in moral thinking. This dialogue, this interchange, this coming together in two parts, right, represent a great step forward in moral thinking. G'day, Nick. Oh, mate. Beautiful skies here in Sydney. Nothing but blue skies. Gonna get a little rain over the weekend, even though it's the rainiest year in Sydney's history. It's been nothing but beautiful since I've been here. No wonder everyone's out with their cameras. Oh, the helicopters. Always the helicopters. So they use it for the problem of taking people literally. People never mean what they say, mate. You get into trouble taking people literally. Now, one of the rare occasions when people mean what they say, when it's a private conversation with a good friend who is accepting of you, right? When you're in a private conversation with a good friend who accepts you, right? That is when you pretty much say what you mean. Like, you may not be able to do it with a spouse nearly as much, certainly not with an employer, anyone you're trying to impress. So, the closer the friendship, the more accepting the friendship, the less incentive the other party has to hurt you, to ruin you. That's when you can come the closest to saying what you mean. But even then, I don't say what I mean nearly as much as when I'm in therapy. So perhaps the gold standard for me, saying what I mean, is when I'm in therapy. Right? Because there you have assured confidentiality. The other person's not going to be pronouncing nasty judgments on you. They're there to serve you. You're paying them. Right? So there's just a whole layer of self-disclosure. And in normal life, it's really hard to talk for 20 seconds without getting interrupted. Right? In normal life, you speak for 20 seconds, right? And the other person doesn't interrupt you. You're going to think, what the hell's going on? What's wrong? Because that's the rule. It's only in therapy that we get to speak for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes without interruption. Right? So that's probably the closest that we come to saying what we mean. Because usually we're not invested in how the therapist uses us. We don't really care. We're not fearing repercussions. But outside of therapeutic context, even with friends, right? You have other friends in common. You know, be vulnerable to them in certain ways. You're teased or maligned, or rated, or rude, or criticized by a friend. So even with friends, there are limits to saying what you mean. So I find I can say what I mean much more with a therapist than even with good friends. You can't hear, sound quality too bad because of the wind. Okay, cheers.